Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Why wouldn't you just go to a store then? Why did you?
Because they were sold out.
Okay.
I missed the release
so
date.
So then you were a little thirsty.
Not thirsty. I mean, I wasn't dehydrated.
You were like, I want those shoes. The whole purpose behind law is to right wrong. I want justice to be something that isn't this foreign concept.
Justice knows no boundaries. The truth will be heard. Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Devin Thomas is suing Sean Dover in the amount of $350. Mr. Thomas claims Mr. Dover sold him a pair of shoes that were damaged and pre-worn. Mr. Dover claims the plaintiff was fully aware of what he was buying.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. All right, so Mr. Thomas, tell me about these tennis shoes.
Well, I'm a sneakerhead, so
You're
I collect
a sneakerhead.
shoes.
What's a sneakerhead?
Person that's in love with their shoes.
Oh, that's your jam, huh?
Yeah, that's my thing to do. You know, I don't do
right.
drugs, I don't drink, I hardly ever go out partying, but I do collect my shoes.
And Mr. Dover, what's your story? How did you come in contact with Mr. Thomas?
I came in contact with Mr. Thomas through social media. He like a fan on my Facebook, on my IG actually.
Yeah, he's following you on Instagram.
I see him. What I do is
You see him as fans.
Yeah, he's a fan.
That's how cocky people talk.
He's definitely a fan.
Why are you
He's
following
definitely a fan. Yeah.
Because he sells sneakers. I'm a sneakerhead. My boy, he's the
And I
one
got
that
a
told
really
me
big
about
following
his IG.
selling sneakers. I got like probably over 10,000 people that follow me. I sell sneakers. Been doing it for about 2 years now.
Okay.
And
So you sell sneakers, and everyone that sees your social media knows that that's your jam.
Okay.
So you're following him because he sells sneakers. Had you ever had any sort of transaction with him before?
Not previously.
All right. What happened as to this occasion as to why we're here?
First he DM'd me. I didn't
Yes.
respond because I get like a lot of DMs at once. So,
Okay.
But he was being thirsty about it. He like commented on
Thirsty?
the picture.
No, wait.
Yeah,
Why are you
definitely.
Thirsty?
He was like really determined to get this shoe. Like,
Okay.
So if I walk
sent
in the Foot Locker,
sent
I'll be
multiple
thirsty
messages.
if I ask for a pair of shoes
You
at
walk
Foot
in the Foot
Locker.
Locker, you went on social media
Well,
and contacted.
why wouldn't you just go to a store then? Why did you?
Because they were sold out.
Okay.
I missed the release
so
date.
then
because-
you were a little thirsty.
Not thirsty. I mean, I wasn't dehydrated.
You were like, I want those shoes.
That's what got my attention. He put his PayPal right under one of the messages and said he ready to do the transaction
You
right
put
now.
it. Okay. You immediately put the money on PayPal.
No, well, you go through PayPal
Right.
to use it.
And
So
how
it's
much
not-
time had elapsed from the time he said okay to when you put it on PayPal?
It was about 30 minutes.
Oh, you were thirsty.
About 2 minutes. Like,
You were thirsty.
30 try 2.
You were like, I want those shoes. And what was the agreement?
He was going to deliver them the next morning at 10 a.m.
Is that true?
At my house.
Is
that
that true?
was the agreement.
Because here's what happens with a contract. You got offer, you got acceptance, you got consideration. Your offer was, I want to buy those shoes. Right, Mr.
Yes.
Thomas? Mr. Dover said, you can have the shoes. It's going to cost you $350. Am I right so far? Mm-hmm. And the consideration was what you took in terms of PayPal and transferred the monies. So we got a contract. Did you get the shoes?
Yes, I did.
You got the shoes. You made sure he got the shoes.
Yes.
All right. Did you actually give him the shoes the very next day?
Yeah, it was the very next day. I'm also a promoter, so I
Okay.
had the event that night.
All right. I don't need to know about that. I just need to know that you said you were going to give him the shoes. You got his money already. Mm-hmm. And did he get the shoes?
Yeah, he got it. Yeah.
Late.
Okay. Well, how late is late?
He was supposed to be at 10 a.m. I didn't get the shoes till 5 p.m.
You got them the next day, 6 hours, 7 hours later than what?
Yes.
But you got them the next day.
Yes, but it was an inconvenience because my mom was in the hospital, which is why I couldn't pick him up the first day.
What was wrong with your mom?
She was sick.
Okay. Is she doing okay now?
Catching the flu, yeah. She's getting better. But
Well, if she was in the hospital, she had more than just the flu, right?
bad flu.
Okay.
But
And you had been spending time with her,
yes.
but you were willing to leave her to go get these shoes.
No, I was not at first.
The thirst is real,
The
y'all.
first night, that's why we waited till next morning, because I wanted to be with my mom. If it was my girlfriend, okay, I probably would have left
Oh,
and went
okay.
and got the
Yeah.
shoes. Well,
Clearly, shoes before women.
well, yeah, in that case, because she's not permanent, but my mom is always my mom. You know what I mean?
So it's certain women before shoes. huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. My
So
mom
you,
before everything.
okay. All right, I got you. You ultimately got the shoes.
Yeah, so
Why are we here?
We're here because the shoes had
Are
already
those the
been
shoes
worn.
right there?
These are the shoes right here.
Deputy Thomas, let me take a look.
Man.
Is there one in there too? Oops.
Yes, there's one.
And they came in the box, and
There's
that box
no
looks a
way
little
I would-
raggedy.
Look at the shoe. There's no way I would send a shoe that looks like that to somebody else in my city. That
Well, you
doesn't make
did.
sense at all. That man's
I mean, so
obviously...
you think I just did that
These
to my
are
own shoe?
$350?
This man had played,
$350.
this man had played at least 20 pickup games in those. Ain't no way that I didn't gave him that shoe, man.
Coming up on America's Court.
Why are you giving him a pair of shoes that you've worn and he's already paid for them?
And later,
You're a student, right?
They wore
Yes.
shorts.
What are you studying?
I'm studying nursing.
Okay, you need to study the art of silence.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Devin Thomas, who is suing Sean Dover for selling him damaged property.
Like I was explaining to him in the test, I sent a very professional test. I explained to him, I'm a promoter, and that night I had an event coming up, and I told him I'm out of 11 and a half. All I got is this 11 that I previously had on the night before.
That who previously had on?
That I previously had on the night before.
Stop! Why are you giving him a pair of shoes that you've worn and he's already paid for them?
That's
Exactly.
basically what happened was I had an event that night. And when I come to the event, I usually keep a few with me because when I come to the club, people was like, you got them on already, can I cop them? We go out to the parking lot, whatever, I exchange. So like I said, in that time, I got a little intoxicated. I'm selling them. I ran out. All I had was on my 11. So the next morning, when I wake up, I see his missed calls and whatnot with the shoes. I'm thinking like, oh man, I done sold the man's shoe. So what I do was I sent him a very well detailed text saying, explain, I'm sorry. All I got is this 11 that I've only wore one time. Now, if you want your money back, that's cool, but I can send you this 11.
Offer
I'm
me my money
listening to
back?
you right now, and I feel like I'm listening to a bag of Skittles in a blender. I said all of that, and you don't want to pay this man
I don't want to pay
the
him.
money back because you were out clubbing and promoting and drinking, and you had on the shoes, then you took the shoes off, and then you gave him the size that's a half a size too
He fully
small,
agreed to it.
and he takes the shoes and gets them and says, I don't want them, and now pay me my money back.
No, not at all. Not at all. I wish I had to say it. I explained to him that, the people do this all the time. So you wear a shoe once or whatever, and
No,
the
people don't do that
the
all
shoe
the
still
time.
brand.
Well, then why wouldn't you just go to a regular store? Why would you go through
They were
him?
sold out in regular stores, which is why he was able to charge me $350 for them.
Which
Because they
is a
come
great
out
price.
first
That's a great
retail
price, 'cause you know
at
everybody's selling
180.
$500.
They come out regularly at
Oh,
180.
you paid over the amount.
Way over.
No, after release day, he knows them shoes, after they're gone, you see people online for $500, $1,000, anything.
So this is a little hustle where shoes sell out.
Yes.
And then you can then bump up the price, and people are scrambling to get them.
Yeah, and that was a
Yes.
great price,
Right.
even though
Yeah.
$350 is a great price.
So what's your beef?
My beef is that my shoes were worn
Got
and
it.
scuffed.
Explain that to him.
And
It wasn't
I mean,
scuffed.
what am I going to do with some shoes that's already
was
been
no
worn?
scuff, and
I'm trying to step
when
out
you saw
fresh.
them, they were scuffed,
No.
and were you wearing them?
On Instagram, they were not scuffed. He
It's
showed
funny.
a picture
I
of brand new
explained.
shoes.
I explained to him that I wore these shoes. He was cool. I explained it. I wore it that one time. It's fresh.
You
It's-
wore the shoes one time. Okay. And so when you saw the shoes and you saw they were scuffed,
Yes.
did you immediately say, here are the shoes
No.
back?
Yeah, I called him because he
No.
was not there because he had
No.
to drop
And
them
then what?
off
And then
because he
what?
was late.
And then
I
what?
called him and he said, "Oh, well, I mean, I didn't wear them." He denied it. He denied the fact.
So then you said, give me my money back, and that's
Yes.
why we're here.
Yes.
All right.
That's exactly why we're
And then, so you didn't wear the shoes, you didn't do anything with them.
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm glad he just said he didn't wear the shoe. Can I show you some evidence, please?
Yes. And there's no disputing that the 350, right? What is the evidence that you're showing me here, sir?
That's a picture of him in the shoe on Instagram, getting a compliment by somebody wearing the shoe, and him responding back to the compliment. The shoe that he just said he didn't wear.
Well, she likes scuffed shoes. What's the big deal?
Stop.
gotta
I
pay
asked
$350.
you, did you wear the shoes?
Well, I forgot about that time.
Okay, now you're sounding stupid. It says on here, you say yuck, the other person says nice J's, then you say, I stay in the flyest. So that means you were profiling the shoes. You were good until you put those shoes on. You were good because there was no way I was not going to have him pay you back and you were going to give him those shoes. But once you wore them, Because I wear the same size as you. They had to have hurt if they're the wrong size.
I got a corn from it, actually.
Okay. He doesn't get it, Deputy Thomas.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe you'll get it this way. Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I'm glad things went my way. I tried to do good business with the man, and it didn't work out.
I learned my lesson. I'm done shopping on social media.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
The manual that you read via his email said, do not wear shorts above the knee.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Lindy Nelson is suing Ray Phillips in the amount of $752. Ms. Nelson believes Mr. Phillips wrongfully terminated her. Mr. Phillips claims the plaintiff did not follow the workplace dress code.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. We've got an issue about attire. You are suing your former boss because of some shorts that you wore to work.
Yes, I had applied for the job, and I have a lot of retail experience, so I had a lot of confidence when I applied to the job.
And what made you decide to hire her, sir?
I was in a bind. I'm a business owner that's been running my business for over 5 years now successfully.
Okay.
And I had to go out of town. I saw her retail experience. It was a good resume.
How long were you working before it became a problem?
4 days.
4 days, and we have a problem. What happened on day 4?
She was supposed to be there Friday, which she told me she would for training. And then when I called her on Thursday to confirm this, she told me all of a sudden she couldn't make it. So that was the beginning of this relationship. Was all
You
based off
hired
of a
her
lie.
Tuesday. You said you're going to start Friday with training.
With training.
Was she going to be paid to be trained on Friday?
It was a light paid training day, yes.
All right. Did you call him on Thursday saying, I can't make it Friday?
Well, that's
called
not
her.
what he said to me. I wasn't aware that I was hired on Tuesday at that time. I thought that he was just, telling me, if you do get hired, then yes, we have a training thing on Friday.
I told you looked
No.
great.
Talk to me.
No,
Talk to me.
he called me up on Thursday, the day before my class, when I can't go into my professor and say, hey, can I, have Friday off? I'm not going to be around. I have to do job training.
When you heard from him on Thursday, are you telling me you were surprised to hear from him?
Yes, I was surprised.
You were surprised?
Yes.
If she didn't go to the training on Friday, how was she able to perform the duties on Saturday?
So once we had the conversation that she couldn't make it, I told her, well, I was a little annoyed. I tried my best to, not show that over the phone, but I was very annoyed.
So I'm going to work with you anyway.
So I was going to work with her anyway, and that I was going to email her our manual and to please read it before her shift on Saturday.
Did he email the manual?
Yes, he did, and I did read it before my shift.
You did read it?
Yes.
The manual contained all the policies,
Yes.
procedures,
Yes.
Dress
do's,
code.
Everything.
don'ts, and it included the dress code.
Yes.
Yes.
And what did it say specifically about the dress code?
I can tell you by heart, line 4.
Do so. Yes.
By heart, shorts should be no shorter
Wait,
than.
you just said I can do it by heart. Now he's reading.
Shorts should be no shorter than slightly above the knee.
Anything that is considered a short pair of pants,
Yes.
it needs to be below the knee.
Yes.
And did that apply to men and women?
No.
It applied to both. I mean, men have a dress code, and as well as women have a dress code.
Is there any specifics about gender as it pertains to the shorts?
Yes.
I'm asking him.
Okay.
No, Your Honor. I mean, shorts are shorts. I keep a very
In the
tight shirt.
manual, does it make any distinction between the men and the women?
No, Your Honor, it does not.
It does not. What are you looking at?
Well, men have a dress code as well, and it says the exact same thing. I mean, khaki pants within style of the store is allowed.
Does it
and work
make a
appropriate
reference
shorts.
to the men in terms of where the short falls in relation to the knee?
It does not.
It does not. You are making a distinction based on gender.
Yes.
Yes. When I initially asked you, was there a difference, you said, no. Which one is it?
There is a difference.
There
There's a slight
is a difference. Why is there a difference as it pertains to the men versus the women?
Well, Your Honor, I'm very serious on sexual harassment, and I just want to keep a really tight shift.
Sexual harassment can be on the receiving end of a man or a woman. the perpetrator can be a man or a woman.
It's true.
Why is there a distinction as to where the short falls in relation to the knee for the women versus the men?
I feel that it's appropriate and it features a healthy work
Well,
Say
men
that
are
ag-
allowed to wear shorts,
Ma'am?
but women are not.
Are you a student,
Well,
right?
they wore
Yes.
shorts.
What are you studying?
I'm studying nursing.
Okay, you need to study the art of silence.
Coming up on America's Court.
Stop.
I'm sorry,
The
Your Honor.
boss says, do not wear this, and you say, I'm doing it anyway.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Lindy Nelson, who is suing Ray Phillips for wrongful termination.
You made a decision based on your own perceptions that there was going to be a distinction between men and women.
Absolutely, which is my right to do as my store.
Yes, the shorts were above the knee, but I figured because he had been
Does the
selling them
manual
in
say they
his...
cannot be above the knee?
Yes, but
Okay.
if being that
Why
they're being
would you
sold
wear
in his
shorts?
store...
Stop. Why would you wear shorts if the manual says do not wear shorts above the knee?
Because it was, I figured it would be okay because he was selling it in his store and he's promoting other
The
people.
manual that you read via his
understand.
email
I understand.
said, do not wear shorts above the knee. Why did you have to wear the shorts that are in direct violation with what he said don't do?
Because I've been wearing the dresses and the slacks the other days and I wanted to
The
change
response
it up.
that I'm hearing is because I wanted to. The boss says, do not wear this, and you say, I'm doing it anyway. Are these the shorts?
Yes, they are.
You look very nice in them. Let's take
thank
a look
you.
at that on the plasma.
Thank you.
Very professional. They're way above the knee.
Way above the knee.
Way above the knee. Way above the knee.
I understand. I see that.
You look great.
Thank you.
That's not the look he wants.
Right.
I get it. And did you fire her as a result?
Yes, I did.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. You're watching America's Court with Judge Ross. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
What's the takeaway for you?
The takeaway from me is, I guess, that I'm going to have to start really listening to my managers, and I really can't push any lines, even though the person sells the clothing in the store and promotes it for other people. I'm not allowed to wear those certain things.
What are you majoring in?
Nursing.
Okay. You're going to be all right. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel must come down in favor of the plaintiff. In employment, you can't discriminate based on gender. You can't discriminate for race. You can't discriminate for sexual orientation. And once you made the distinction between the boys and the girls, do not pass go, do not collect $200. You will pay her $752. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $752.
I really appreciate that the judge was able to see my side of the story, and I hope that Mr. Phillips begins to treat his employees equally.
After the judge's decision today, I'll take time to rethink my dress code policies. I definitely don't want anything like this happening again moving forward.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production.